What's up guys, it's Talon. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to lane as an assassin mid laner in Wild Rift. All three of these games are going to be into ranged champions. Two of me playing Diana and one of me playing Akali. And so I'm just going to teach you guys some of the fundamental things that you typically want to understand as an assassin. So the first thing is typically your power spike is not on level 1, and so unless the enemy does something like this where they literally allow you to just walk up for free at the start of the game, you're not really going to want to straight up just walk up and auto the minion. Now if they do this, which is I want to show you guys when they do something like this where they do come to lane late and kind of give you some initial pressure on the lane, because oftentimes especially lower elo players, they'll be scared to walk up as into an assassin even early game because they're just not very smart. They don't really understand, the concepts properly. And so you can take a little bit of space in the lane, but as soon as the enemies start walking forward, you want to start backing off as you saw me do there. And then the main goal is to try to get the wave to be frozen right in front of your tower around level 2. But if you can't do that, then you're just going to have to farm under your turret for level 3. And then typically most assassins have power spikes on level 2 or level 3 in terms of trading. So Diana especially really has good power spike on level 3, and so you want to trade really hard around that. So essentially you're trying to play pretty passive in the lane and letting the lane push into you by letting them last hit, and only last hitting when you can for free get the last hits. Otherwise it's okay to just get the XP and then focus around getting level 3. And then this is typically how you're going to want your wave to be set up, which again will happen pretty naturally if you let the enemy push as a ranged champion into you. Oftentimes, even if it's a Syndra and Orianna, they have to push the wave to use their abilities on you oftentimes. So even Ezreal is less common to do this, but even more, mages will push the lane even more naturally into you. And then you get a wave like this, where then once you're on your level 3 power spike and you have your cooldowns up, you can start to walk up more aggressively and punish this minion. So notice how I'm not letting him last hit this minion, and because he does have a skill shot to last hit it, I'm making sure I stand in front so he can't first ability it. And so this just gives me the early kind of strength in the lane. And then you need to understand your goal again in the lane. Your goal is to take short trades with your burst combo, with your abilities, whatever combo that is. Again, for Diana, that's pretty straightforward. It's my first ability, third ability, second ability, and then third ability out afterwards. But again, look at my real goal here is just to push the wave and then recall for mana boots. So as an assassin early game, you don't need to necessarily try to kill the enemy on the first couple levels because that's unrealistic. What you want to look for is a recall for your boots, whether that's Boots of Dynamism for an AD champion like Zed, or Boots of Mana for most AP assassins. Now obviously here I see a unique scenario occur where the enemy are fighting, and so of course I'm going to rotate to the fight, and since I'd pushed my lane already, I'm able to easily rotate and get my full combo off and get an early kill onto the Kindred. But the main thing to understand, I know you might be saying, well, this is showing you a game where you got a kill from a rotation, so this isn't really a good thing to learn. But what you can learn from this is that you simply need to play around your power spike in terms of recalling for boots, and you need to play around your usually level 2 or level 3 power spike depending on what champion you are. So oftentimes, assassins will have an ability that allows them to farm, Zed with his first ability, Diana with his first ability, where you can sometimes last hit some of the minions, but you're okay with not last hitting them all. If those abilities are on cooldown or the enemy are pressuring you more aggressively, then you're just going to have to kind of give that up. And again, once you get that recall on mana boots, you now become much more aggressive in the lane. And so you can kind of do two things with this aggression that you have now that you're on your power spike. The first is you can trade more aggressively with the enemy because you're going to be starting to win some trades. As you see here, we're going to look for more trades. Here I don't really trade very well, but then a little bit later, again, you see once I land my first ability that I am looking more aggressively to potentially find a trade angle. Or if you can't really do this, you can simply push the lane and roam. So if the enemy are doing a good job of not dying to you and playing pretty safe, once you get this lead, then you can just simply start pushing the lane and roaming. So for example here, I'm going to push very quickly because I don't think I can necessarily kill him. And another thing is you can take recalls when you want to. So I kind of wouldn't mind recalling for my pendants here because it's another good burst damage kind of item that will help me out. Now, of course, since I have the lane priority, I also have the ability to potentially roam. So you can see how I'm pushing the wave quickly. Since I can't really pressure the Ezreal too well, then I'm looking for a possible recall. But when I see the enemy are overextended, I look for the roam angle. So it gives you a lot of agency. So again, to reiterate the main points of laning on assassins. Okay, cut out for a second there, my bad, but basically the main points of laning on an assassin, you want to make sure you're playing passive until you hit level 2 or 3, whichever gives you the best combo for trading, and then you can start playing more aggressively in that lane where you now start slow pushing your lane so that you can eventually crash the wave under the turret and recall for mana boots or your item power spike, and then you want to play around that item power spike to really trade with people, especially on level 5. If you have mana boots and maybe even a pendant, which is a part of Infinity Orb, for example, like I have here. And then you have that really strong combo. You can burst people down really hard. So then you're going to see how at the end of the lane phase, right before the objective's coming, I'm going to have so much burst damage that I'm easily able to trade with him here and find the kill angle just from that. So again, playing passive early game, then recalling on my proper spikes, getting value out of my champion's strengths, which are having those short burst combos and playing around my items to really increase my burst damage, allowed me to win this lane, despite the matchup not necessarily being the most optimal. Okay, and then here you're going to see a pretty similar pattern for how I play the lane with my wave management and playing around certain item spikes. So here we're into a Vex, which is a pretty good counter into a Kali. It's a 4-time challenger player as well, so he's not like a horrible player. He plays it very poorly. That's why I'm mentioning, like, even a 4-time challenger player is going to often play these matchups very poorly. And so you're going to watch, I'm going to really wait for his fear, especially to be off cooldown. So playing around the enemy cooldowns is really one of the most important things. So the first thing is I'm trying to bait out his fear. And you can see out here he's actually playing more aggressively, like a higher elo player would kind of play it, trying to pressure me. But then as soon as he misses a spell and that his thing goes on cooldown, I'm going to immediately trade with him. And then I'm going to take the pressure in the lane. And then once his cooldown starts to come back, I back off. But again, he makes the mistake of pushing too hard and wasting his first ability. And a lot of times they'll do this as well. They'll waste their spells. And since I know his spell again is on cooldown, I can go for another first ability there. Now that I hit level 2, that is the power spike for Akali, unlike level 3 for Diana. And so I immediately go up, use my second ability trade, get the electrocute proc, and now my wave is in a very good spot. You can see I have the wave exactly frozen where I want to. And then on level 3, as I'm able to freeze it here, I'm going to potentially be able to look for an all-in angle or build up a slow push to then, once the next wave comes, crash that wave and then recall for my mana boots. So either way, I'm either going to get a good mana boots recall or I'm going to find a potential kill angle or something like that. So you can see out here, I use my ability to bait out his fear and then I get a nice slow trade on him there. Now I don't really play much Akali. If you're wondering why I was even playing Akali here, someone gifted me subs to play Akali. So I was like, okay, I'll play Akali. So I didn't really know the exact damage there, which is why I ended up igniting even though I didn't have the kill angle. But the thought process in terms of creating a potential all-in angle through having, you know, the proper trades by playing around, again, your level advantages and keeping the wave in that type of situation is what really matters and what you can learn from this. And then I'm recalling on mana boots, which now gives me potential kill pressure. I'm recalling on mana boots and I'm about to hit level 5. So then this is when I really have a potential kill angle. So I'm going to look to see if I can possibly find an all-in angle, keep the wave on my side of the map. And then once I see fear go out from the Vex, I'll look for a possible flash or a kill angle and see exactly what I can do. So again, you can see I'm more aggressively trading because I know I'm going to win these trades with my mana boots as soon as he uses his cooldowns. And then now the wave is coming into me and I can freeze it here. This is a great time to freeze the lane as an assassin, is right when you're hitting level 5 and you have your mana boots, because now you have a very good all-in angle. So you're going to see out here, he has to walk up to trade pretty aggressively. And as soon as his fear goes on cooldown, I'm going to immediately look for the all-in angle. And now here again, I don't really know the exact damage. So like here, you know, I end up dying, but I still get the kill and I find the all-in angle. And then the wave ends up being in a very good spot for me. So typically when the enemy are playing like this and you have that certain, you know, recall on your power spike and your ultimate, you can manage the wave in such a way where you can easily find all-in angles and create all-in angles and everything like that. And then here again, now that the wave is slowly pushing back into him, I'm going to trade a bit and then start pushing the wave and trying to get it to crash quickly. And then looking for potential trade angles again once his cooldowns are not up. Obviously, because I got the good random drop as well, I want to look to potentially go more aggressive there. They're going to see here, because of just my insane damage that I have due to the fact that I recalled on these certain spikes, I'm able to easily find another kill angle on him there. And so that's pretty much how I played a lane into a counter matchup. Again, you saw very similar things with keeping my wave in a more safe position early game, and then recalling on those certain item spikes and finding the all-in timers on my ultimate plus mana boots power spikes. And then that is going to do it for the video, guys. I'm just going to show you 2 clips instead of the third one like I said I would, because honestly, that clip pretty much shows the same thing as these other 2 clips, so I feel like it's redundant. I might as well keep the video short and just let you guys know those main points. So again, I hope you learned something from this. If you're interested in coaching from a rank 5 sovereign autofill player, I do coaching, so just DM me on Discord, Talon1169, if you're interested. But as always, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you want to like, comment, or subscribe or whatever, I'd appreciate that, and I'll see you guys later.